Good day, Paper Florist. This is Jerry of ThePaperblooms. Today, I will continue the demo for the paper flower of the month, which is Lisianthus. Last time, Inga has already taught us how to make the center for this pretty flower. And just yesterday, Susan has shared with us how to make its petals with all the coloring stuffs. To continue with, I will teach you how to assemble the flower and come up with a full sprig Lisianthus. You will notice that the stem of Lisianthus always comes with a set of buds of different sizes and leaves beneath it. So let's start making the buds. To make the buds, we need a piece of crepe paper 25 by 50 millimeter long. To do this, we just cut it to a simple teardrop shape. You can adjust the size of the paper in proportion to the size of the blooms you're making. Now, after cutting each petal, we fold it to half and start twisting it lightly. Depending on the size of the buds that you're making, you can adjust the number of petals also. To make the stem, we use 24 gauge wire, make a hoop at the end, and get a piece of tissue and wrap it around the hoop. When you reach the end, secure it with glue. We are now ready to assemble the buds. First, open up the twisted petals. After opening the petals, we slightly cup at the near base of each petal. We then apply some glue. I'm using hot glue for this time, but you can also use tacky glue. Place another petal over it, overlapping almost half of it. Then we continue gluing until all of the 4 petals was placed together. This is how it would look like. And now we are ready to assemble the bud. Now we put in some glue on the inner part of the joined petals and put it on the left side portion of the petal, and we slightly roll it up until we get it neatly tucked. You can also add glue on the tip of the buds and pinch the tip a bit more. Also, press the base so you can get a good Lisianthus bud like this one. To make the sepal, get a piece of green crepe paper around 40 millimeter long along the grain. Cut 5 small sepals 2/3 down the paper. After cutting, carefully fringe the tips of the sepals using your thumb and index fingers. Add glue and wrap it around the base of the bud. Press the sepal so that it will go with the movement of the petals on the bud. You will end up with this bud finish. To finish off, get a green floral tape to wrap around the stem. Start wrapping from the base of the sepal, going down to the other end of the florist wire. Since the stems looks thin, we wrap florist tape again, starting from the sepal, and work our way down to even out the stem wrap. There you go. We now have a finished section of our Lisianthus sprig. To get a more natural and fluid look of your Lisianthus, make buds of different sizes. For now, we put this aside and make the leaves. For the leaves, I will be using green Japanese crumpled paper. I usually get this type of paper at the gift wrapper section of schools and office supply stores. For the benefit of all, before showing you how to make leaves out of this paper, I will first show you using crepe paper. Get a piece of green crepe paper. This one measures 50 mm by 90 mm along the grain. Cut this diagonally as we usually do when making leaves. I have already pre-cut my papers, so there we go. In making leaves, oftentimes I use 26 gauge wires. However, depending on the size of the leaves, you can use thicker or thinner wire than 26. Now, we put a thin line of tacky glue on the diagonal side of the paper and place the wire over it. Then we place the other half of the paper over it, overlapping around 2 to 3 millimeters, enough to sandwich and hide the wire. Press the paper down to secure that it is evenly glued together. Afterwards, we can cut out the Lisianthus leaf. Lisianthus leaf is simple with pointed apex. Trim off excess paper at the base of the leaf. Using the edge of the scissor, you can slightly curl out the side of the leaf and give it a good Lisianthus shape. I suggest you do leaves in pairs of varying sizes. Now I will show you how to make Lisianthus leaf using the green Japanese crumpled paper I have shown you a while ago. I will be using double-sided tape, but you can use other adhesives of your choice. Start sticking the tape on one side of the paper until the other end of it. I prefer using double-sided tape mainly because of convenience and lesser handiwork. After placing the tape on the paper, I fold it to half and cut out two pieces of 80 mm long pieces. Peel off the white portion of the tape. Place the wire over the tape and fold the other half of the paper to seal it off. Using your thumbnails, crease along the wires to get a good leaf vein. Fold the paper and cut it out the Lisianthus leaf. The same shape we did with the Crepe paper a while ago. Afterwards, add leaf shape details using the edge of your scissors. Do this with the rest of the leaves. Since Lisianthus leaves are arranged opposite each other, make leaves of the same size in pair, also in various sizes like this set. After we did all the parts, we have the center as taught by Inga Peterson, the petals as shared by Susan Bond, and the buds and leaves. We can now assemble the Lisianthus sprig. Beginning with the bud, we put a pair of small leaves and wrap it with florist tape until the end of the wire. In assembling sprigs or stems of flowers, always make sure that your stem size progress naturally. Most of the time, we may notice that stem gets bulkier the more we attach things to it. Well, that is normal. Just be sure that your stem size is evenly in between attachments. I will use 2 pieces 18 gauge wires to extend the stem of my Lisianthus. Also, it is where I will attach all subparts to assemble the sprig. Fold around 40 to 50 mm of one end and connect with the others. Commonly, Lisianthus has leaves where buds or blooms grow out, so we emulate the same. There you go! We have finished our Lisianthus sprig from the bloom center to petals to leaves and assembly. I hope you had a good time. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel.